Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. Ed Talks is a platform where educators come on board and talk about and share their viewpoints and talk about various things related to education and society. Our topic for the discussion is how to get best out of peer-to-peer interactions in classroom. And to express their viewpoints on the same, we have with us Mr. Ritesh V. Mehta, principal of Adani World Group. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We are so good to
Thank you,
have you
ma'am.
here.
It's my pleasure.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your precious time with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, to directly switch on to the question and start off with the session, I would say the very first thing is, sir, tips to encourage positive peer interactions as a teacher.
Uh, First of all, I would like to thank you for coming out with a wonderful topic, something which is very crucial and important nowadays. And I think after the new normal that we have seen in our lives, we have realized the importance of one thing, and that is the personal touch and the personal appeal. And the personal appeal in the classroom that happens in a regular class, and which nowadays the super K8 classrooms comes with, and which miss on one part, and that is the peer-to-peer interaction. How do you encourage the peer-to-peer interaction in the classroom? Uh, More or less, the formula for the same remains the same, and certain things that a teacher needs to teach as well as needs to implement and live is the first thing I will say that the first formula is respect your words. Every child should be taught to respect his own words, and even the teacher. If you are saying, for example, certain things in the class that I have taken your sports class for some purpose, and I will give you one extra class for the sports. You should, as a teacher, you should speak with your principal or with your academic head or with your coordinator, and please ensure it that you're giving that class out. And the same applies to the child once he sees it that my teacher has respected his word. So teaching the child to respect his word. It's very simple but yet effective. The another way is comment and help out beyond the necessity or beyond the point. As a teacher, if you're helping out the child on the subject, of course, it is the requirement, and we are professionals and we are getting paid for it. But then sometimes the child requires an additional support. It may be a moral support. It may be sometimes just encouraging the child, and sometimes a protection, and sometimes just listening to the child helps out. So if you're doing that, naturally the child learns out how to do it. So when you're speaking with your friend, it cannot be only when you are in need of your friend, because there is an old proverb: "A friend in need is a friend indeed." But it is not always true that when you are in need, then only you speak with your friend. Just speak beyond the needs. Just try and help out, even when it is not actually being required. The next thing I would say is connect beyond your task. If I need the support for mathematics, I have a STEM class, and I'm good in science, I'm good in engineering, but I need art support, and for that task, I'm dependent upon someone. That's okay. But even beyond your task, you're able to do something on your own. You're able to complete your project on your own. But then, if you really want to be friend with someone, if you really want to connect with your peers, then the best way is connect beyond the task and rather support out others in their task. Cambridge has recently came out, like, there are projects, and in case you're doing the project on your own and you want to do it alone, then there are 2 months which are deducted from there. So somewhere even the examining bodies are also realizing it, that working together is required and it is the need of the hour. Offer praises and recognize their efforts. Giving credit. I think even once we have grown up, it happens on several occasions, and we face more or less in our lives that even though the people do the work, they do not get recognized for it. And it happens on an average that everyone wants to take the credit for the things. Success, as it says, that has 10 fathers, but failure has none. So when it is the success, share it with your friends, and the habit needs to be inculcated at a very early age. So if you're doing a project, even though you're presenting, you did the research, but someone helped you out. Someone just helped you out for the part of it. And we are referring projects on several occasions. More or less, even today, what remains, if I recall my childhood, and if you will recall your childhood, what you will remember is not your science or maths, but what you will remember is the project work done of that subject. So the best way to teach it in the class is to do the projects, and there can be different ways of doing the project, and there are different ways now the projects could be done. And the last but not the least, don't be judgmental about your friends, and don't be judgmental about your peers. And this thing has to begin. What you preach has to be praised, and what is praised has to be preached. So the teacher should not be judgmental about the kids. When the work is being given, even a project work is being given, don't be judgmental about your kids and ask them to do the same. Like in a capacity of a class is divided into groups of two or three. Ask them not to be judgmental about each other. Last time a child must not have done good in presentation. That doesn't mean that he won't be able to do it this time as well. Sometimes the time acts as a healing, and sometimes you don't know that that was not his favorite topic, and this time he's able to do that. So these are smaller things which helps you out, and I think the teacher is the one who can always do the things, and it can begin with the smaller gestures and acts in which he can begin with. I will say that how does the teacher can is a small activity. I think a takeaway, if I have to give from this interaction, then a small takeaway or activity I will give. Sit in a circle. It can be called as a quality circle or by any other name, and sit in a circle, smile at the child, and ask him to smile at the next child. uh, Take my words, believe my words. You have a beautiful smile, compliments to you. And if you smile at the child, ask him to smile at the next, and the complete circle, when they smile from their heart to each other, they feel that connect well within them.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. And thank you for your compliment. Very well taken. Obviously, when you, it's like anybody. If you smile at anyone, and if you look at somebody with a small smile, even if you don't know them, so it's like whenever you pass on a smile to a stranger, even they give you a smile back. So
True.
it is really influential in that manner that it gets carried away with people. And it's just a small way of making people special, I feel. So sir, how can students improve peer to peer relationships when we talk about how to encourage them?
uh, how do we encourage the kids to do that and to improve the peer-to-peer relationship? I think uh, the best way to do the thing is letting them know about the importance of doing it. Many a times when you give I will take my first example, and I would try to take it a little ahead with the conversation. It happens several times that sometimes the kids comes to you and says that, look sir, I can do the thing, but I will do the thing on my own. I will do this project. I'm sure that I will rock it, but I will do it on my own. I remember that we had one activity wherein we were raising fund for something. We were raising fund for a cause, and the kids were given with certain leaflets for that purpose, and they were being asked to do some work and to accept the money only after the work. You have to do some small chore work, and then only you receive that amount.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have
with
to
the
earn
scout
it.
and guide, it used to happen even in the earlier days, and we introduced the similar thing in the session, and the kids all enjoyed it. And there were kids who said to me at the beginning that, sir, I will not go with this boy, or I will not go with that boy, but I will do better all alone if it is to be asked to me. So when you give that opportunity to the child, you need to tell him that what exactly you're going to get when you're going to do it together. Because when two people work together, you will have better mark. This is what practically the child understands. But it is not about that. It is about learning the self concept. It is about the self esteem. and it is about getting the identity out of it. Because when you become a part of a group, the fear which comes in the mind, even for a grown-up person, is losing out his own identity. So when you're giving a peer to peer interaction, we need to make it sure that every child in that group maintains his own identity, his self-esteem is being maintained into the process, and the child realizes the self-concept. The child realizes what does he wants. The child realizes that he has to negotiate. The child realizes that somewhere he has to pursue others, and the child realizes how to argue for his own points when he's correct. So if these are the skills which can be taught, and for that the activity is being developed, or for that the project work is being handled, and there is a proper monitoring for that purpose by the teacher, I think these are the things which can take the child to the comfort level, and the peer-to-peer interaction can be effective and can be fruitful and productive as well.
Absolutely, sir. So, using activities in classroom to build peer relationships. So, what sort of activities can come to one's mind when you're talking about building peer relationships? Like we really said that you have to, whatever you're doing, you have to earn it. Only then you'll get whatever you've been working on. So, and there you also mentioned that you have to be with somebody even though you don't like the company of that person, or you don't enjoy that person, maybe because they haven't interacted well enough to be friends, for that matter of fact, or probably there could be some other things. So talking it out or maybe handling a project together can make them come closer. So like what similar to that, what are the activities in the classroom that one could bear peer relationship that could build in with students?
Uh, I will say that when we speak about peer-to-peer learning, the adult's role into the process is very crucial and important. As you said, that what activities could be done. The activities are generally being led out by the teacher, but there can be certain activities which can be led out by the child as well. And the activity should be rather like that, where the teacher begins and it has been taken over by its end users, and then it moves forward. For example, the activities can be categorized into different parts. Generally, we speak about these activities, but when it comes to its implementation, we have faced the challenges because we have a tight schedule. Even though we speak for 365 days, we practically work for 180 to 220 days maximum. This is somewhere in between that we work, and we have a curriculum, we have exams, we have revisions, we have project works, we have field trips, and we have events, and so many things which are happening, and the campuses are live, more or less. So how do we utilize the time and make our classes interactive with peer-to-peer interaction? So the category we can categorize these activities in 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and 30 minutes, depending upon the time. It's my proxy class. I will take 30 minutes. It is my class wherein I have completed my chapter, and with the revision, after revision, I have 10 15 minutes. I will do that, or with 5 minutes, I have certain activities. So I will come with certain activities which generally we do as Adanians into the class, like turn a talk. Uh, like as I said to you, pass a smile. You sit in a circle, pass a smile, and turn a talk. Wherein you smile at a person and you give him a topic to talk and let him speak the things out of his choice. And you need to listen to him as well as you need to comment. So many a times we believe that we speak a lot, but there is no one to listen. So you have a listening ear and you have someone who is listening to you. Then a hug, a high five, or maybe a handshake. In the lower classes, in pre-primary classes, I think you must have seen that with the EYFS coming out with something which is mind blowing, is giving a high five, or giving a hug or a handshake. A teacher does it, but then you're allowing a child to do that. So this is something that can happen. And then once you have these two activities, then generally we do the next thing is a TED talk. But this TED talk is little different. In this, for example, if I'm a teacher, I will go for example, I will go with this phone, and I will name it as something. And you will say that today, I have named him as for example, he's a jockey, and this jockey is not happy today. Do you know what happened to him? And then you give it to everyone. Every child receives a chance to tell for 3 to 4 minutes. You have made a opening statements what doesn't makes jockey happy. I gave it the reason what makes the jockey doesn't makes happy, and you ask the child what makes him unhappy. And he this is the time when the child opens up, and the child has opened up, and the child who has smiled to him has to suggest him a remedy. What I would have done in case I'm unhappy. Maybe I'm unhappy because someone sings loudly. Maybe I'm unhappy because someone has pulled something from my bag. Someone has taken my pencil. Someone has taken my pen, and I'm talking about primary classes. So someone has taken my lunchbox, or someone has done something which I didn't like. And this interaction works on two ways. The first peer learns what makes the other child unhappy, and the first child comes out with a solution. What I would have done to make you happy. So this is a two-way communication, and which leads to the solutions. And generally, we have found it out that once we do such kind of activity for around 20 to 25 days, you find that the class works smoothly, and then that is the time for another activity and for another thing.
Absolutely, sir. So it's like they have, interacted with a way as a third person. So they are interacting with somebody they don't know, but yet they are sharing their views, they're sharing their ideas, they're sharing the reasons and solutions to them. Absolutely, a very wonderful way of, interacting in classrooms and having it their way. So, what is the importance of, peer-to-peer support?
How does the peer-to-peer support works out? We believe that it works out in the childhood or in adolescence, but it is not only the childhood or adolescence. We have seen that in case of alumni, the alumni, when they come together, we have seen that it works out even for the placements. And once you grow up in your life, uh, even though whatever you become, but you always remain a classmate for your life.
Absolutely.
And once you are a classmate, it doesn't matter that who you are, on what position you are working. But once you find your classmate, be it on the street or be it on a very good hotel, or be it on a beach or be it in the mid of the air, when you are interacting and you find your friend all of a sudden from somewhere, you will find that happiness. And this is the real success of peer to peer interaction. And once I think that happens, and we give create and give that opportunities. For example, in case of adolescents, the leadership teams which are created now, this is the time when the leadership teams of the school generally prepare for a ceremony that is called as investiture. I think many of the schools must have completed, or by August it gets over, that you have elections and the councils comes in, and those ministers, they stand out. And this is the best format of peer-to-peer interaction that I've seen. That once the teacher comes in and he finds out something which is wrong, that's okay. But these leaders at their own level, how do they put the thing under the carpet, and how do they help out not to do it again? I think it all reminds us of our childhood, how the prefect must have helped us out. Uh, One, to maintain the discipline, and one, to support us out to do the things better. So peer-to-peer interaction has many folds, and it can help you out in different ways, and it can help you for the life. So this is something, if it is inculcated at the roots, and if you catch them young, I think that is something which can help the child for a longer term, and for the lifetime. They can be better interactors, and they can be extrovert people who can come forward, break the ice, and they can have the interactions in a smooth manner.
Absolutely, sir. Whatever stays in class, whatever happens in class stays in class. It shouldn't get out to the teacher. So that's the best way we can have. Yeah, obviously, support groups, peer to peer support is I mean, I could say the root and the basis of how our entire school works. So it is
True.
very important. It is the key essential of how we come to school. We have this hope of meeting people, then interacting with them, having fun, mischief, how to do something in another way this time to make it a more happening class. So peer to peer is something which is one of the most important ways of having it.
And that is, I think, one of the best memories that a child carries,
Absolutely.
and he carries it for the life. And what I believe is, adding a point to it, this peer-to-peer interaction is not limited and confined only to the students. You will find it out that it happens in case of the colleagues as well. How much you love or hate them at one point of the time, but you worked with them before 10 years, and you find that person after 10 years that, he was with me in that school. So that is what it creates, the fraternity of us as educators. And I have seen that even that peer to peer helps out us a lot.
Absolutely. So if I talk about somebody who's coming from my branch, somebody from my school and with different branch, I feel that I'm connected to that person. That is my
Very true.
person. That is my school. That is my person. Even though he doesn't even know that I'm from this XYZ school, it's just like a connection that you've already built in mind. कि अच्छा यहाँ से है तो अच्छा ही है. Just because I've been there. Absolutely, sir. So peer-to-peer support is one lifeline you get, and it doesn't have its expiry date at all, no matter where you are in life. Some people are just a call away, some people are just a walk away, and probably some cafe away. So this is what we take as being in peer-to-peer relationships, wherein we have people around us who have such fond memories, have such beautiful connections that can never go away from us. It stays with us, and it just belongs to us. So with this note, thank you so very much, sir, for sharing your valuable time and coming here and enlightening us with such beautiful topics and such informative sessions. Looking forward to much more from your end, sir.
Thank you so much. It was pleasure talking with you, and I really appreciate the way you have come up with the thing, and the way and the essence of this interaction takes us to the next level. And definitely, this is also one peer to peer, I believe, even though it is online. But definitely, it has created a connect between entire you and the Dani World School. Definitely moving forward, and look, just waiting to see more out of it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sir. It is indeed our pleasure to have you here. Looking forward to much more and interesting topics. So, I, Sakshi, host of the evening, would like to sign off. Promising with coming up with another educator, another insightful session, another beautiful topic to discuss on. Stay tuned. Look forward to it. Do subscribe our channel. Share whichever video that you like to people that you can associate with, and have fun. Thank you so